Hi, my name is Per, and today I would like to talk to you a little bit about forgiveness. Sorry, but so I think forgiveness is one of those things that is the best thing to do. If you don't forgive, then you have a problem. Your problem will be segregation, yeah, segregating, segregation is it called? It's called. So you will, if you don't forgive, you will put yourself apart from the group, whichever group it is. If it's one individual that you are in a group with, you will put yourself away from that group. And that's not good. I mean, there is a difference between someone stepping on your toes accidentally and someone doing it on purpose, of course. I guess when people do stuff on purpose, others say that that is stuff that is on that scale of not productive, not beneficial, not giving. Um, in that sense, that some people think that they have been hurt, whatever. I'm sorry, it's a little bit difficult to talk about after saying those words because that was stupid. Well, it wasn't stupid, but look, what it is if you don't forgive, then you end up aparting yourself from the whole. And why would you want to do that when you can have access to the whole? It's it doesn't really make sense. And so, how about learning how to forgive? And I know there's a difference between. I think said this in this video. This is like the fourth or fifth time I'm trying to make this video because it's not as easy in a way. Well, maybe the time isn't now to make this video. I don't know. I'm gonna try it anyway. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, so let's put it like this. There are two villages. They live in different realms, so they can't touch each other. But one village is always fighting. They live in fights and they spend their resources in more or less three things, right? They spend their resources in recuperating, which is the first thing that they have to do after having been to war. Then they spend their resources in figuring out what are the things that they have gained from their fight, right? And then they spend their resources on um, more war, right? On getting ready for war. And that's about it, right? Whereas the other village lives in peace and harmony, and they are not spending any material on war or any resources on war. So what they're doing is what they are doing is sorry, too many things floating in right now. What these people are doing is spending their resources three other things, of course. They're spending their resources in investigating, or they're spending their resources in helping everyone, right? Like in improving their lives and whatnot. Uh, they're spending their resources in inventing things and getting stuff done that helps people, like a washing machine, whatever, right? And then they are spending their extra resources in sharing them with the people around them and stuff like this. They're all giving information away freely. No one is in competition, right? Which of these two villages grows first, or let's say, which of these two villages can first get to plant a flag on the moon, right? There is a 95% chance that it's the peacemakers that reach the moon first, right? Unless the warring part is going into like we need to get to the moon because like or else we won't survive, right? So they're actually stepping out of the war thing and then uh, putting people up there in a way because they're going in from fighting to preservation, which is part of the other one as well. Anyway, the thing is, you can't really advance that much if you have to spend resources on stealing other people's stuff that you don't know what is and then having to back engineer it, right? It's taking an extreme amount of time to sometimes figure out what other people have invented just by looking at it, right? Like saying, what the fuck is this thing? What can it do? Like if you haven't seen it done anything, how are you, do you even know the concept of what this thing is? So you're going to have to spend a lot of resources trying to figure out what stuff is. And as you see in a lot of warring movies, when they have gotten something somewhere from somewhere, they usually just like throw it over in the corner because they don't know what the fuck to do with it. But it looks important, right? And no one does anything. And then casually someone finds out something. But in the other realm, people don't have anything that they don't know what is and they don't know how works because there is no disconnect from the actual thing because everything comes from that environment, right? So there's no waste of resources in trying to capture things, in trying to make sure that you are protected, in trying to whatever it is that you need to do to be able to live in a warring place, right? All those resources can be spent on growing instead. Oh, that's what the third one was. The third one was the third resources they spent weren't sharing with others. That was, of course, part of the first one. The third one was, oh no, I just forgot it. Well, but that was growing, right? Spend resources on growing. And so, in that sense, you will always reach a better place if you stop warring yourself, right? So, why don't we? It all starts with forgiveness. There isn't any other way. You can't reach peace by killing off whatever it is that you think you can do. There is no peace force. It's not possible. You can't have peace with weapons. It's a, well, it's very easy to fall into the trap and say it's a crazy thought, right? But it's a non-beneficial thought. It's a non-growing thought. It doesn't seem to be coming from light, right? So what is it? Right? It's lack of those things. That's it. Just forgive, and you don't have to lose things. Right? If we start sharing, there's more than enough for everyone. Look, people are saying we are too many people on this planet, there's not enough resources. Have you looked outside wherever the fuck you are right now? How many cars are parked out there? What are you talking about? There's not enough resources. Why do we not just have public transport only? Right? Only public transport. Like, it would be so much easier. So much easier. And everything would be running well because there wouldn't be anyone else using the roads or whatever it is that is being used. So there wouldn't be anyone else you have to worry about, or and then all of that resources, right, that each individual is spending could be spent on whatever it is that you want to spend it on. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying we should go into a society where no one owns anything and you'll be happy about it. Because that sounds a lot like someone owns something and a lot of people don't own anything. And no, 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 no. There is one way we can do it where it's not where everyone owns everything. And that's by having everything well put. Like put everything official into blockchain, for example. Right? And then just run everything in blockchain. So everyone can always go back and read and see and what happened with this and what happened with that, and where does my food come from, where does my material come from, who have been part of bringing the material out of the ground or from the field to wherever, how was it done. Putting everything in blockchain would mean that no one can fuck with your stuff, right? Because it says right there, right? And I am saying that thinking that blockchain cannot be hacked. I don't know if it can be hacked, but that's what the word said when the thing started, right? So if it is as they say that it's an empty box or a see-through box with a see-through lid, with a see-through box on top, with a see-through lid, with a see-through box on top, and so no one can go in and change anything in there, because the moment they do, stuff just doesn't connect anymore. And yeah, whatever. But that's one way we could do it. But it all starts with forgiveness, right? We can't get anywhere if people don't forgive others, because we have to spend resources on being in war. We have to spend resources on cars parked in the street, or I don't know how many cars were on a parking lot somewhere where flood came and took all the cars away. But I have seen many, many, many different videos of that now. And what's with all that waste? I understand if torrential rain comes down somewhere and there's city that has a car or has cars or whatever, right? And their personal cars are wiped off. Now I understand that. That makes sense. Someone owns that car, someone's using that car, but having a million cars taken out into the ocean because they just happened to stand in the way of the water, waiting for someone to come and get a car or buy them, whatever you want to call it. That doesn't seem to make any sense. Doesn't seem to make any sense to have people have so much stuff that they have more than what a whole country has, right? Some people have owed more money away than other entire country has in its entire in its entirety. That's just, if that's the way to live, well, then why shouldn't I just take over everything, for example, right? And just say it's all mine. I mean, what's stopping me? Is that what anyone is interested in? I highly doubt it. I'm not interested in it. I could do it if I wanted to, but I don't want to. Why should I want to? Isn't that just the strangest thing ever? Like not wanting to share everything with everyone. What kind of kindergarten did you grow up in? Or did you even grow up in a kindergarten? I mean, there's a reason we have kindergartens. There's a reason we have schools. Yes, they're being abused and manipulated and blah, blah, blah. But it's to socialize everyone. So why are we not socialized? Does it make sense? Doesn't make sense to me. Shouldn't we do something about it? There we go. Behind the ear now, it doesn't fall as easy. So I'm thinking, let's start forgiving everyone and understand that whatever has happened had to happen. Because if it didn't happen, we couldn't sit here now and have this conversation. We couldn't sit here and talk about all these things we would like to change because they weren't out in the light or we didn't know they existed. We couldn't protect ourselves against it. Or, yeah, against it is the right one. So, what was it this video was about? Forgive people. Seriously, it's your best choice of surviving anything because look what this world is turning into. Let's forgive.